And as all this was going on, these guys were releasing their albums, the singles were getting out there, British music is starting to make a comeback, and Blur released Girls and Boys to euphoric reception. It was their first top 5 single since There's No Other Way in 1991, and everything looked great, and it looked like, we're going to have this great American sounds coming in, and then we're going to have these great British sounds coming in. And man, some of the collaborations, some of the great music that's coming through, even the rivalries, for lack of a better term, are going to be off the chart. And then we found out on April 8th, 1994, that the face of the US music scene in the United Kingdom, Kurt Cobain, was found dead from an apparent suicide. There are a lot of conspiracy theories that some say he was killed, some say it's a suicide. He was his generation's John Lennon. It was a very, very, very big loss to music when he died. And it did leave a huge vacuum in the music scene that was coming. And that was filled by the British bands. But Kurt was eulogized, and he was considered a very, very highly tragic figure. And, in the aftermath of his death, a lot of American bands kind of had their lyrics as their way of processing, dealing with the death of a friend and a colleague. R.E.M. in particular, that, the song Let Me In was played with Kurt Cobain's guitar. That was a gift to Michael Stipe. And, it was just... they dealt with it very, very hard. Now, Dave Grohl would go on and form his own band, the Foo Fighters, as we all know, and have a hard time in processing. That first album was processing his emotions on how he dealt with the death of his friend. But in terms of music, it was kind of the center point of this kind of shift. So you had, within a 6-week period, you had Blur releasing Girls and Boys, critical acclaim. Then you had Kurt Cobain is found dead. And less than a week later, Oasis came out with their first single. And kind of shifted everything. It shifted everything. A week after one of the heroes of music is dead, you were told you need to be yourself. You could be no one else.